Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the She Who Leads podcast. And in today's episode, we will talk about overwhelm. Overwhelm with creating the business and overwhelm with building the business because I experience it myself all the time. I see it with my clients all the time. I see it with fellow entrepreneurs all the time. And it's such a hard feeling to be in because it's very suffocating, right? This feeling of overwhelm, of never-ending tasks, of always having to do something and never really getting to where you want. All the options out there that feel almost too much to choose from and paralyzing, and just like the five plus roles that you feel like you have to master to be able to create that business, that creates a lot of overwhelm, especially if this is your first business that you are creating. And it's so easy to fall into those traps that actually create more overwhelm in your business and in your life, and unfortunately make you believe that doing a business should be something that is just tiring and exhausting and suffocating and all those bad things, and not really leaving room for all the beautiful things that is creating a business, the experimentation, the fun, the joy, the play that actually should go into business and should definitely go into creating a soul business, a business that is built around your purpose, because your purpose is meant to be fun. It's meant to be a play with life, a dance with all the beautiful opportunities that you are creating for yourself with this business, that meant to be fulfilling and fun and exciting, not just daunting and draining and overwhelming. So in this episode, we are diving deep into overwhelm, and I will give you guiding points on how you can start to put down the overwhelm that is on you right now with your business. So, first, first, let's differentiate between two very, very important things, because as in this world, everything has equally good and bad in it. And that's exactly the same with overwhelm too. So by this I mean that there's obviously the bad overwhelm, where like where we feel like there's too little time, where we feel like there's too many options, where we feel like there's just like we need to basically cut ourselves into 10 different parts to be able to stay afloat with things. And that doesn't even seem enough, and I had my fair share with that. I, I was the queen of overwhelm. I still am a lot of the times, and I know how hard that feels, and I know how discouraging that feels actually in the business, because you went into this with the intention of creating something for yourself that is more free, like, right? Like more free than your job, your 9 to 5 job. It feels more fulfilling that the job that you were doing before, and you feeling like you're actually doing the things that fill your cup, that makes you feel at the end of the day fulfilled and and contributing somehow to the world, right? And when we start to build the business, there are a lot of other things that we don't really take into account. And those are things that also part of creating the business. So what what tends to happen when we start to experience being an entrepreneur is that we feel like we have these new roles, these new ways we need to um, accomplish things, these new ways we feel like we need to perform. And that can feel overwhelming. Now, what adds to this, and actually what really truly creates this bad overwhelm, is on one side the need of going fast. This need that we all have in ourselves, our human selves have that, of we feeling like, okay, we need to get to the finish line like right away. And especially with business, but I want to say with any goal that we have, the things that we truly, truly want and the things that will actually make a beautiful, beautiful addition to our lives and really change our lives for good, those things take time. And I know you hate me right now, or you please don't shoot the messenger, but that was something that I needed to learn on my own through a lot of failure and blood and sweat and tears and everything. And the pressure that I put on myself was basically coming from or the overwhelm that I was experiencing was basically the pressure that I put on myself of I need to do this as soon as possible. I need to be able to be run my business and make a living of my business and be successful and do all these amazing things that I see other people are doing and wanting myself to do the same, right? I need to do that in a month or 3 months or whatever. And if I don't do that, this whole thing just doesn't worth it. And that's a very tough space to be in. And again, like you put a lot of pressure on yourself when you are in this mindset. And obviously this can come from multiple things. So this can come from, the pressure of maybe you quit your job and then you feel like now, okay, like I have to make this business up and running as soon as possible because I don't have any other income flow. Or you feeling like you already wasted a lot of time in jobs and in a career that you didn't really like, and now you really want things happen fast. And I get that so much. Again, I've been there on both sides. I have felt the time ticking. I have felt the pressure of money running out. And those are things that won't really create ease and peace in your life, but actually add to your overwhelm. So one thing that really, really I want you to start to embrace is that building a business that you actually want to do for as long as you live and enjoy for as long as you live, something that will be a source of excitement and fulfillment in your life that won't born overnight. It really won't. So the sooner you give the permission to yourself to take the time with it and not trying to do a year's worth of work in 3 months, that overwhelm will ease instantly. And I know that because I did that to myself. Like I had this full belief that if I just do, I don't know, 2 times of what anyone else is doing, then I will get to my goal 2 times faster. And in reality, it doesn't work like this because, yes, we are able to do actually 2 times more that we believe we are capable. But again, we have a time limit for that. We need to find the balance between doing and being, doing and resting. Otherwise, that's the recipe for burnout. And that's the recipe for you actually hating something right off the bat that you should be enjoying and that you should fall in love with so hard, meaning your business, that you don't even consider giving up ever, ever, ever. And again, doing it slower won't necessarily mean that it will be easier, but it will be more sustainable. And overwhelm always comes when we are doing things in an unsustainable way, when we feel like we are stretching ourselves so thin, not out of wanting to expand, but more of the fear of you are running out of time, or yeah, that's kind of the root of it. So you need to start to differentiate the space that you're coming from when you want to do things fast, because that always will create this underlying overwhelm of you feeling like you're, first of all, never doing enough, and you taking on so much more than you should right now, just so that you can kind of check mark some finish line that actually won't really bring the feelings that you want to experience. So that's right first off the bat. Another thing that adds into this bad overwhelm that we tend to feel is all the self-image wounds that we have around basically our value. Because when you feel that you are not valuable, when you feel like that what you have to give is actually not something that people would benefit from, then we tend to get into this pattern of overgiving, right? We feel like we need to create more content to people, for people to get value. We tend to feel like we need to, I don't know, give more time for people to actually get paid, get feeling like we get the amount of, validate the amount that we get paid from people, right? So, and again, I've been there. Like, I've been the person who overdid with the courses that I created. I worked with clients, I actually, we were meant to have 60-minute sessions. They went on for 90 minutes, sometimes even 2 hours. And I was the person who actually, like, needed to be on all of the platforms all the time, because that's how people will feel like I'm valuable, because I'm giving them value here and giving them value there and also giving them value there. And it was all coming from this feeling of I am not valuable, so I have to prove myself in all these ways that I am valuable. And that resulted me basically doing so much more than I was actually supposed to do, that actually felt, again, sustainable, felt fun and enjoyable. And it led me to be in this overgiving, then burnout, then overgiving, even again, then burnout cycle, until I stopped it with really rooting into my value and seeing how I am actually providing value for people, rooting into that. And then I could basically focus on all the core things that I needed to focus on to actually build my business and make it feel, doable and not overwhelming, and not feeling like, oh my God, I don't have time to go to pee even, because I actually spent my break time with clients too, right? Like, I was so spread thin with time when I was in this headspace, and when I was operating from this place, that I didn't have time for anything. I didn't have time to work out. I didn't have time sometimes even to eat, because again, like, I was over giving on sessions with people. And then the time that I was actually, scheduling in between sessions actually disappeared, because I was spending them with clients, and I wasn't paid the double of the amount that we agreed on. They were actually paying me the amount that was agreed upfront. So, and I don't even want to go in how much resentment that creates in ourselves when we feel like we are giving way more than what we are getting. So those are things that really truly add to the overwhelm, and those are things that, if you can start to shift, will already get a lot of you and feel way less overwhelmed that you felt before. Now, again, to balance things out, because like I said, everything in this universe is in balance, is trying to be in balance, and because of this, everything has equal parts good and bad in it. So we talked about the bad side, the bad form of overwhelm, but also overwhelm has good things, like a level of overwhelm, a form of overwhelm, some type of overwhelm is actually good in your life. Why? Well, A very good question. And the answer is that when you feel overwhelmed, the right amount of overwhelm, it starts to put you in this creative space. It starts to put you in this problem solving mode because, again, it fires up lightly, and that's the keyword here, lightly fires up your fight and flight system, which is, again, um, in a way of okay, how can I solve this problem very fast? How can I come up with the best solution that will give me the best result, right? Like, this is basically when our fight or flight is turned on. We get into this space of, oh my god, like, like, we can create amazing things. Like, that is times when, like, people have incredible strength, or they run so fast that they never ever run before in their lives. Or we can basically, that this is when we are programmed to be, like, the sharpest that we can be, for the time being, to avoid the danger that would encounter us, right? Now, when you learn to use that, and that's something that you can do, when you learn to use that to actually channel that into your business, then you put yourself in this creative genius zone, which we all have, you too, where actually ideas flow faster, solutions come to you easier. You will get unique ideas you never ever thought were capable of creating. You will actually be faster, more efficient. So everything gets a bit more sharper when you have the right amount of overwhelm. Just think about the time where you, like, had a deadline, and like, didn't really spend time on that, and then you just realized, oh my god, I have this deadline. I have to turn this paper on, if you were in school, or I have to turn this project in like a day, and I didn't do anything with it. And then just something magical happens and you are able to create that project from start to finish, or that paper, in one single day, which you basically could have done in 2 weeks, but you were able to do in one day. And that's something that I've been experiencing in my business too. Like, when I have a lot of time, when I feel like I have a lot of time, I tend to get a bit comfortable. I have this tendency. Now, lately, because of some changes in my life, I actually have half the time for my business than I used to have. And it put me in such a discomfort, in a good way, that I feel like, okay, I have this quote unquote time pressure to actually create the same amount of work, and actually even more, in that shorter amount. And the funny and wonderful and magical thing is that I am perfectly capable of doing that. Because, again, I'm not taking what tends to happen is we get so much more deliberate with our time. We get so much more aware of how we waste time, in a sense, right? Like, how we, I don't know, if we have a lot of time, we tend to, like, get more distracted, or I don't know, start watching random videos on YouTube because, oh, I have 3 hours. Like, it's okay to watch this video about a kangaroo, I don't know, jumping around with a basket. uh, so but when you only have like 1 hour to create something, then again, this genius mode like clocks in, and then you get laser focused on what you are doing, because you only have 1 hour. You have to finish, because otherwise, like, it won't be done. And then you get into this focus mode, you get into this creative mode, and it opens up so much of your potential already. So what I want you to take away from this is, first of all, not all overwhelm is bad. Okay, like, that's a very important thing. I want you to embody, to start to differentiate between overwhelm and overwhelm. Some overwhelm that you maybe deliberately create in your life, with deadlines that you set for yourself, with time frames that you set for yourself, those are good. Those can be challenging. Those fire up lightly your fight and flight system, and you can create in a more genius way. You can put yourself deliberately in your genius zone where things will flow much easier. Now, on the other side, I want you to start to look for the type of overwhelm that you put on yourself by feeling like, I have to finish this today, otherwise, something bad will happen. And that is a very big differentiator that I want you to think about. Where is this coming from? I want to finish this because I desire that to be created. That's the good one. I need to finish this because otherwise I'm unworthy. Otherwise, I am not getting where I want to go. Otherwise, I'm a failure. That's the bad type of overwhelm. That will be pressure on you that actually hinders your process and your progress and your business and your relationship with your business. So now, what do you need to get the overwhelm of yourself and like get off of this overwhelm train? Because that is what tends to happen. Basically, we are on this train and it's seemingly we don't even have any control over it. Seemingly it's not even something that we can do anything about, but we can a lot. And I will help you what. So the first thing that I kind of already mentioned that you can do for yourself is get in terms with and start to like be okay with the fact that things take time, especially when it comes to your soul business. That will take time. It will take time until you find the unique solution that you are here to provide for people. It will take practice. It will take experimentation. It will take failing a lot of the times. It will take you coming up with 10 different solutions and then seeing what works from which, and then coming up with the 11th one. It takes a lot of trying and failing and testing and playing until you get to that point where you feel like, oh, okay, this is finally it. Like with my last program, I've been testing different tools for over a year now with that specific program. And I still feel like they could be a bit better. Like if I just tweak them a bit more better, they can be even better. And again, that's a keyword here. So I don't want you to feel like that until I have the perfect solution, I cannot do anything. I cannot have clients. I cannot make money. That's not true. I just want you to start to differentiate between you feeling like, okay, I have to have the perfect solution right now because that's the only way that I will be able to bring in money. Because again, you getting to your mastery levels will take time. You have the potential to be the master in a lot of your capabilities, a lot of your specific capabilities that you got specifically to build your soul pool, to create that one unique thing that only you are able to create. But to get to that, to get the knowledge, to get the opportunities, to again be at a level with your capabilities that could make that possible, that takes time. Now, on the other side, I also want you to give yourself the permission to that you cannot just help people when you are at that perfect place, because you can perfectly help people even when you are not a master of something. You just have to find the balance between things. You need to see, okay, how am I providing value right now? And also be in this headspace of, I'm okay with this taking time, and I'm okay with maybe not building my perfect life in 3 months, because that is what is creating the overwhelm of not seeing, okay, I have this goal, I have this beautiful, beautiful vision, which you are so meant to have, of like not really having to work a lot, or I don't know, working exactly just on the tasks that I want to work on, and having my team supporting me, and then I can have time to spend with my family and go on these amazing trips, and just like be in this creative juicy genius life that I envision for myself. Like, that is so possible for you, but please don't put the pressure on yourself to get to there in a year, because that's not usually the way it goes. Unless you actually spend the last 10 years of um, perfecting your craft and perfecting the exact capabilities that you need to get to that um, dream scenario, you're most probably won't get there in a year. And you expecting yourself to get there and making yourself believe that if you just grind hard and if you just work harder and if you just do more, then you can basically cut the time in half or the tenth, that will lead you to so much disappointment. So much disappointment. And I'm talking out of experience here. So finding a right balance between enjoying what you are doing right now and still putting enough overwhelm on yourself, enough pressure or enough discomfort on yourself to create in your genius zone, to stretch yourself a bit. That will be your sweet spot. That will be the place where you won't feel like you cannot do this, because you can. The only thing that you believe that you cannot do this, that the overwhelm comes and make you believe that this is undoable, is because you set expectations that feel undoable. When you reshift those expectations, then things will smooth out. That's a very, very big part that you can do right now. The other thing that will release a lot of overwhelm from you is letting go of the should. And by that I mean letting go of all the beliefs and rules and everything else that you feel like you should follow or should do to make this business work. Because your business, like your soul pool, is unique, your business will be unique. How you set up your business, how you create the business, how you connect with clients the best, how you deliver your offers the best, that will be unique to your soul pool, which is unique to you. So until you are trying to follow others and follow others' rules and feel like I should do this to be successful, I should do that to be successful, I should post on Instagram every single day, I should create reels, I should share my life, even though I'm so uncomfortable doing that, I should create a podcast and also create funnels and also have a lead magnet, have actually 3 lead magnets, and it has to be specifically this because everyone else is doing, I don't know, quizzes now. So I definitely should do a quiz myself, even though I have no idea how to do that. And I hate doing the tech stuff and I hate researching the tech stuff. And I'm actually much better, I don't know, just having a conversation with people. I enjoy that so much, but I shouldn't do that because I don't see people creating, I don't know, a free interview series that they put out and people, like use that as a form of uh, even like an offer or like a lead magnet. I don't see that, so that must be because that doesn't work. So I'm actually not doing something that I am pulled to do. I am doing something that everyone else is doing because that's what I should do, right? Now, you can feel that this is something that really hits a nerve with me because I've been doing that for so long, and I've believed that belief of there are good and bad ways to do business, which is so not true. There are others' way and there is your way. And your way will always be the best way for you. No one else's way will work as good as your way for you. I really, really want you to sit with this and feel this with your whole body, because when you embody this truth, you will start to listen to that guidance that you already have in how you should set up that business so it doesn't feel as overwhelming. So only the good overwhelm is there, because you will stop doing all the things that actually drain you. And a lot of overwhelm comes from we're doing a lot of things but actually not even enjoying them, because we are doing them out of obligation, right? And when you can switch those things to things that actually you want to do because they excite you, you can do the exact amount of work and not feel overwhelmed, because you are doing something that not just, drains you because it's something that you should do, but something that fills your cup because, oh my God, I'm so excited to do that. I'm so excited to have that conversation with that person. I'm so excited to sit down and write my, I don't know, 10 sentence musing today. Like whatever pulls you, it really, there's no coincidence. I really want you to understand that there's no coincidence in what is feeling exciting for you, what piques your curiosity of, oh, I wonder if I don't know, I would love, I mean, just think about it, I would love to create this, I would love to do this. And anytime you catch yourself, I would love to do this, but I would love to create this, but that is actually your shooting turning on and making you believe that what you know in your heart deeply, what you know would be good for you, won't be good for you. Because again, it goes back to trust, it goes back to trusting yourself, it goes back to self-image, it goes back to seeing all your capabilities and knowing that you are perfectly capable and set to success and build the business that you want to build. So again, like self-image work is a big thing in letting go the overwhelm. um, when you can add that to your mix, it will work wonders. If you need help with that, I'm here. You can book a free discovery call, which you find the link in the description below. And we can work on all the self-image things that actually creating more overwhelm in your life, your value, um, feel not knowing, what your strengths are, or not trusting your capabilities. Those are all going to be self-image imbalances and wounds that you need to shift, so you can actually start to use all your unique capabilities that you got to actually build this business and make it a success. So the baseline is, when you follow your natural design, the overwhelm will subside. Again, it's not a good thing if it goes away completely. You have to feel a little bit overwhelmed to actually make great progress, but this suffocating overwhelm will go away. And the third thing that is a very, very important thing, which is more on the physical realm of things, is it basically goes down to the business structure, meaning that it goes down to, and especially if your first business, it's so easy to create, something that is like very complex and like very over the top, and you feel like you have to be at all places to be a success. You feel like you have to do it all right away, you have to do everything right away, to be able to get your business off the ground and be successful. And those, if you are catching this, those actually feed off of the things that I previously mentioned, right? Like you feel like if you do more, then you get to the goal faster. If you feel like if you believe that you giving more will bring in more people, right? Because you're not feeling your value. or you are not trusting your capabilities, and that's why you are, following this guru and that expert, and everyone is basically telling a little bit different things, and then you're trying to, implement all of that, and then it gets like so clunky and cluttered and like all over the top. This is what tends to happen a lot of the times. This is what I see all the time with clients who come to me, who are basically who are basically wounded by marketing, because they were made believe that the marketing, the business, is something that has to be super complex to be working, and has to be like this super thought out and intricate, and I don't know what type of process, which shouldn't. It's not. That's not true. You All you need is a solid foundation, a solid structure. What I like to call that a 4S structure, which is a structure that is simple. So simple that you can easily follow it, you can easily build it, you can build it fast, relatively fast, so you can test it right away. It is solid, meaning that you don't feel like you have to reinvent it every single week, because it has the solid foundations, the most solid foundations that a structure needs to have. There will be Your structure will actually mirror your gifts and your capabilities, but there are solid uh, frameworks, I want to say pillars of a good structure, that when you take into account, and that actually put then you put your own unique flavor into that, that will be your own, and that will create this solid knowing that, oh, okay, oh my god, I can actually build on that, like that can hold up whatever I want to build on top of that, right? It needs to be sustainable. That's the third one. Sustainable, like, again, in a sense of it doesn't feel like it eats up all your time and energy and emotional capacity and everything. It needs to feel like you are able to do it, you are able to create it, you are able to maintain it. It needs to feel like this, especially in the beginning, because yes, with time, you will have a team, you will have people helping you. But even with that, you need to understand, when you are working with experts, you need to understand what to tell them. You need to understand what they are telling you, what they are asking from you, so you can actually guide them of, okay, I want this, I want the result to be this, and maybe I don't know the exact technical steps how to get there, but I have a sense, because I already, in a simple way, I did this for myself. I have an overview of this, and this will help you not ever feel that you are blinded in your own business, because that is the most frightening thing that you can feel, of actually, if this person leaves me, I am completely lost. That is a very, very frightening feeling. Again, yes, if you don't need to become an expert of all trades, but you need to have a basic understanding of the different parts of the business. So when you bring in an expert, you don't feel like you are too reliant on them. You can you know what they are like. You know that generally what they are doing, how they are providing. You have a sense of their roles and their tasks. That's a very important part of being a company leader, a CEO, like someone who has a team and has a supporting team, who is able to build a supporting team. Those are extremely valuable things for that. And the fourth one is that the foundation needs to be scalable. Scalable meaning that, again, if you're there, and when you're ready to grow the business to the next level, and then the next level and the next level, you don't actually have to start from scratch every single time. You don't need to burn everything up and then build everything up from zero. That's a very important thing. And when you build right off the bat a solid and scalable foundation, then you you will have that forever. And again, it can transform and it can shift, but there are pillars in that foundation that can stay and that will provide you a solid base for your business. That's what you want. That's what I mean by a sustainable structure for your business. So when you start to think of your business processes and operational things in this way, that will take off a lot of overwhelm off your plate. And structure is something that a lot of people struggle with. I know that. um, and especially if like you're a healer, you a people person, you don't really think of yourself as someone who like know how to build structures and stuff like that. But again, if you learn the right tools, if you have the right support, if you understand the basic mechanics of a structure and a business, and again, you use your capabilities to make that your own, you can actually build yourself a structure. You will be able to build yourself the best structure that you ever have. I so promise you that. So these are the three things that can, again, will not can will take off overwhelm of you, even instantly, if you really like dive into deep into that. If you need help with any of these, I'm happy to help. Again, you can book a discovery call, or I call it a clarity call session, which is basically a free coaching session where we can dive into any of these topics that you want. We can dive into your capabilities. We can dive into starting to figure out your soul pool, or whatever business block that you may have right now, or just decode where the overwhelm is actually coming from in your business, and put in new practices and new habits that will take that overwhelm off. I am happy to help you with that. So you can book a session on that link. And I just wish you to experience the best ever business that you can have. And I hope that you will see that beautiful, unique value that you can provide, you are able to provide for people through that business. And I cannot wait to see the amazing things that you are here to create. So give a like to this episode if you got something out of it. Give a follow to this channel or this podcast to show your support, and not to miss any upcoming episode. And also, if you feel like you know anyone who can benefit from this episode, I am super grateful if you share that with them. I know that they will be too. And you also help a lot to me to keep creating these podcast episodes and help you guys through this to have a different understanding of how business actually could work and can look like in your life, and create a better and a more loving relationship with your business. So thank you so much for being here, and I see you in the next one. Bye.